Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I believe this is day 33 on my 90-day challenge of just posting every single day. And today we are tackling my to-do list and getting a couple of the things done. It is the weekend, so I have less organized, like work-ish things, and it's the perfect time to tackle some of the things that I have just ignored and or put off. First things first, I'm going to be putting away my winter coats, and I have these little vacuum seal bags where I'm hoping that I can shrink them down a little bit smaller so that they are easier to store. Um while I was doing this, I was thinking about like all of the regular day to day things that I'm kind of like distracted from, or the fact that we are in this space now where we spend a lot of time online, specifically on social media, and how much of a distraction that has been, so that things like this go just completely unnoticed. Like it is May and I am just now, and I live in LA, and I'm just now putting away coats, right? Like the last time I used these were in March, even when I traveled to Baltimore in March. But like this is something that should have already been in the works, but I'm just now getting to it. And even looking at the piles and piles of laundry, because the next thing for me in this is to fold up all of this clean laundry. I feel like it was like 5 loads or some craziness, y'all. Um, that's the stuff that I don't think that we really register is being taken away from us by us kind of like passively consenting to this new world that we operate in, by giving our attention to social media and living all of our lives online for the most part, or most of a good portion of our lives online. We are basically passively consenting to like real life, being robbed of like real life. And no, putting away the winter coats is not the most exciting thing to do. But one of the things that came up for me while tackling a lot of these home ish to dos was how grounding it felt and how like human I felt, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, what is this? What is something that you might be putting off or you could be ignoring that you probably should be working on, because you were distracted, because your attention span has been decreased, or whatever? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I bought this little vacuum a while ago, and it's supposed to be like travel sizable. So I'm literally just putting the coats into these vacuum seal bags, vacuuming them down, and then putting them into these IKEA totes that I have for forever. And I'm gonna slide them right up under my bed, and then that's done. Also, a thing to note is just how clearing this felt. Like actually getting certain things done like this took a weight off. I don't think that we give enough credit or credence to the dull ache, for lack of better words, the dull ache that is happening mentally when we are moving through life, not really addressing all the things that could bother us that we know should be on our to-dos or on our plate, and we just don't do it in service of like the bigger priorities or the more emergent or immediate tasks. um it is insane how me going through this process of putting away, and now I'm doing winter sweaters and stuff too, putting away winter clothes and folding up all of this laundry. It just took a weight off my shoulders and cleared a little piece of my mind in a way that I just have not experienced in a while. And I love this for me. I really spent this day tackling all the things that I have just been putting off and putting off and pushing back and ignoring. I cannot wait to actually get to a place where I'm actually tackling my space, because my space is so nondescript and kind of functional, but I don't really do a ton in my living room. I got rid of the dining room table early on this series. Y'all saw I took that down. So I don't like eating here or do anything in here, and even coming to like fold up these clothes, which is how this couch became the like dumping ground for all of the clothes that I cleaned, because I don't typically ever sit here and use it. But even like sitting here and doing this, and I think I was also watching Beauty in Black, so I was catching up on that show. The review will be out on Erica Vane TV, child, because Tyler Perry, please. Um, but even that, it just, I don't know, it just shifts things. And if nothing else, I hope that this series is an inspiration to you to take action, small action, seemingly minute action. Just take action, because the moment that you do that, the shifts will pretty much immediately start to happen. And that's how they've been happening for me. And I feel like y'all can see that over the course of this whole challenge. Like, me just choosing to do something and then actually doing it opens up so much space, energy, and opportunity for me to do something else, and for me to now take that momentum from the one thing and the next thing and take it on to the next thing. And yeah, while this seemed like a slower day of doing menial tasks, it was really a good day. Honestly, like low key a mentally therapeutic day um of organizing my clothes. And while I was going through and putting away the old stuff, not the old stuff, the winter stuff, folding up all this clean stuff, I was also deciding things that I wanted to get rid of um and toss. And that's something I've been meaning to do. So I did an initial like rough cut of like, okay, you gotta go, you gotta go. But I still have so much I need to go through with my wardrobe. I want to move to a place where I'm more intentional with my wardrobe, and I want to get back to a place where my fashion choices really speak to my mindset in the moment, who I actually am, versus most of my stuff is like activewear, very functional. I have some things to wear to like certain events, but I think a lot of us easily fall into the trap of buying things for occasions versus actually building wardrobes that speak for who you are and allow you to feel most like yourself in the clothes that you wear on a day-to-day basis. So I cannot wait to like get into that. But that's not like the top highest priority for me now. The other things that I've already talked about on this series are more pressing, but that is definitely something that is on my mind of like getting intentional. And part of that is like me making some of my own clothes and getting into that. Like I used to design clothes in my teens and 20s, and I just kind of haven't done it anymore, but I still have my sewing machine and my serger and my dress form. And I want to get to that place. One, for affordability and the way things are going, like being able to do things for yourself is highly economical, but also for the creative element of it. And like there's no better way to use fashion to speak for me than to actually create the things that I choose to put on my body and wear out into the world. So I'm excited about that. Again, it's not like a priority in reference to like I'm going to pull out my sewing machine tomorrow, but it's definitely something that has been on my mind. And I've been wanting, actually, the one thing I have been wanting to do, which I should bump up in priority, is make a birthday dress for myself. And I'm running out of time to do that. And I was really thinking about this really intricate beaded situation where I could bead elements of like things around my personality and my lived experiences, like this gorgeous beaded pink dress, but I want to have like volleyballs and basketballs and tennis rackets and like bikes and beaches with water and like palm trees and like various things that I like love in this world all beaded onto the dress. I had the idea back in February and I was supposed to start it then, and I clearly have not. And now I am a little over a month away from my birthday. So I'm like, oh girl, can you do that in that amount of time? We'll see. And then also revamping some of my clothes. So that Xavier shirt that I just tossed up there, that one is ripped in the armhole, and I'm going to cut it into a halter and make it into like a distress graphic tee situation, but like a halter tee. That's another thing I want to do in going through all my clothes, figure out the things that I want to keep and versus things that I need to let go. And if it's something that is like a maybe, like what can I do to revamp it? What can I do to add my little like style and flair to it? So be on the lookout for that to pop up in the content, because that's also like an easier way to jump into, I guess, clothing making, which is just revamping some of your already existing clothing versus making them all from scratch. Um, but yeah, like I said, I fold up all of these clothes, 5 loads to be exact. And I'm so glad that I freaking finally did it. And I need to put everything away, of course. But I think by the end of this, I wind up putting, I think, 70% of everything away. And I still have a little bit of other things. But I was also reorganizing my drawers and like figuring out where I wanted things to go. So like I had a bunch of space in drawers for like winter sweaters and stuff like that in my closet. So now that I don't have those out, I have more space. So that's part of the reason why everything wasn't completely put away, because I was also trying to figure out where things would go. But that also speaks to the day. Like, I didn't even record every single thing I did on this day, but I also deep cleaned my stove on this day, and I have been wanting to do that for a while. That's finally done. I also started to reorganize my kitchen. I need to move my spices from one side to the other because I need to pull them away from my stove. Apparently not supposed to keep spices by the stove because the condensation causes them to get stuck together and like fuse together. If you ever have to bang your spices on the side because they're all clumped together, it's because you have them in a space that's a little bit too humid for them to survive. So I did that, and also did my waxing, which I have been putting off for forever. Y'all have seen these damn werewolf armpits. There were so many times I wanted to edit out when I lifted my arms before because I had so much hair under my arms. I'm like, no, this is real. Y'all gonna see it. And every now and again, I let it go because I'm doing other stuff. But in this video, you actually get to see me wax everything. Well, wax my armpits. I show you waxing my armpits, I think, and then my chin. But I wax everything, y'all. Brazilian, yes. Legs, yes. Everything. And one of the things after I finished, I was like, yo, I'm an eldest daughter who does her own Brazilian waxes. Lower your tone when you speak to me. I want to tweet that out so bad. Oh, I want to tweet that out so bad. But again, an economical decision, right? Because full body waxes can be very pricey. It can cost hundreds of dollars. But I also really enjoy being able to do this for myself. I actually make the wax myself. So I use sugar wax, which is simply sugar, like white cane sugar, some type of citrus. I typically have limes on hand, but maybe lemons, and water. You boil it, get to the point, the right consistency or whatever. I follow A between E, and she's the one who taught me how to make the wax, but I make it myself. And then all I have to do, and I store it, so that I have like these jars of wax around, and when I'm ready to do it, all I have to do is like heat it up and then apply it and go. And I use muslin strips, which are like these cotton strips that can be reused. Because I'm using sugar wax and not just commercial grade wax, the sugar, all I got to do is put these strips into water. The sugar melts away. You brush off the hair, you throw the muslin strips into the washing machine, and then you can reuse them. So she's also an ecological girly, sustainable girly. My face, I'm watching this back and I'm like, bruh, I did not know I made that face on that first pull, but I pulled a lot. My goodness. I also like have not waxed in like months. I feel like it's been at least 3 months since I've waxed my armpit. So child, the fur was real. You typically should be going, every 6 to 8 weeks. I feel like it's been 3 to 4 months. So it was a lot to come off. However, that first pull was really good. It was full. It was clean for the most part. And then I got a little stubborn with this little one patch, but ultimately I got it. And I typically like to do a cleanup strip. After I pull everything off, I try to do another strip in the opposite direction as a cleanup strip. One of the things I need to work on is a discoloration under my arms. But I think that's a black girl issue. Like, we have these issues. So I am working on whatever my little treatment protocol is going to be. One of the things, so like after doing my Brazilian, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to use similar products I use on my face down there, and not inside your boom boom, but like on the outside and the bikini area. You can definitely use things. So I'm also using some of the serums and stuff that I'm using on my face and down there under my arms now as well to work on the discoloration. I want it to try to be as even toned as possible, even though I'm not mad at how my underarms look now. Now that they are hairless, now that we're not giving werewolf. I was just waiting, but I'm like, oh no, my people love me. I was just waiting to get that comment of like, oh girl, your underarms, but nobody said nothing in the previous videos. And I was like, okay, that's how we know that we is each other's people. Not me admiring my work. On to the next one. Also, y'all, I'm still watching Beauty and Black in here, so you can see me taking a step back to go and like look at the TV that's out in the living room, because I'm in my room right now recording this over the sink. I'm always doing something. Child. But onto the other arm. Again, bruh, look at all this hair. I think I'm going to be good, though, until my birthday. And I'm going to definitely wax again right before my birthday. But it'll be way less hair by then because this was like months and months and months. Honestly, I'm saying it's been 3 to 4 months, but I feel like I haven't even waxed this year. The last time I waxed might have been in November. My word, Erica. And the winter also makes it very easy to to just let the hair grow where it want to grow. Now people ask me all the time, does it hurt? You feel a sting, but to me, it's not like super, super painful and it's not sustained pain. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't hurt at all. I will say that waxing my legs hurts a little bit more than my underarms. Like the initial sting of like the hair coming off, but it like also kind of feels good to me when I do my underarms. I don't know. And even the Brazilian, it like you feel the prickle and the sting sometimes, but it doesn't hurt as much. I don't know what it is about the legs, and I don't know if it's because my hair is a little bit finer on my legs. But when I was waxing my legs, I was like, oh, this is annoying type of painful. Now again, that pain wasn't sustained, but I felt like those were way more uncomfortable than waxing my underarms and waxing my Brazilian area. Now, the only thing about doing a Brazilian is it's awkward. The positions that you got to put yourself in to be able to get everything. And I am a thorough, okay? I am trying to get every single hair, all of them. I need all of them. So I got my leg up here, over here, bent down. The wax is on the damn stick. I got to move quickly. That experience is more like awkward than it is painful, at least for me. And then the gratification I get after the fact of the smoothness. Once I go in with some aftercare, some serums, and some moisturizer, baby, it's all worth it. It is all worth it. Now, again, you do see me make some faces because there's an initial like prick that you do feel. But again, it's not super painful. Now it's time to tackle this damn chin. Now, when it comes to this chin, y'all, I am so annoyed because on your chin, your hair grows so many different ways. Your armpits is kind of easy because for the most part, your hair is probably growing mostly in the same way. And then the ones that are not growing in the same way, they're growing upwards against it. So like you just got to put wax down in 2 different directions and you pretty much good to go. With the chin, you got to put down wax in 4 different directions because you have no idea which way the hairs are growing. So you need to pull in a certain way for those specific hairs. So this is part of the process for sure, but it takes a little bit longer. And this doesn't hurt at all to me. It's just annoying. And I feel like also the most stubborn hairs that I have are the hairs that grow in on my chin. It's so ridiculous. I'm like, bruh. But whatever. It's part of it. I was actually going to cut this out, but I said, no, let's leave this in. Because again, we showing the people the real. And of course, I couldn't take you to the poom poom wax. And so at least you get to see another thing. And again, I get distracted and I'm like, what happened? Something was said. And I was like, oh, I got to hear this. Going over, looking at the TV. Now I'm back, ready to do the pull. And pull. Okay, and pull. Boom. I'm trying to see if it was yeah. It's also something very satisfying about looking at the pull after. If you have never waxed yourself, I would say try it. And you don't have to do like your armpits or like big spaces. Like you could try something small. I feel very empowered by being able to do this myself. Now, again, it doesn't happen as regularly as it should, so it could wind up being a task that you put off. But once you actually get in the mood and you get to doing it, I'm like, boom, I could do this. Great. And I can save myself $300 in the process. Absolutely. And that's $300 total, y'all. Because typically, Brazilian can cost you anywhere from $60 to $100, not including tip. Armpits can cost you anywhere from $20 to $40, not including tip. Legs can cost you anywhere from $40 to $60, not including tip. Arms can cost you similar to legs. I don't do my eyebrows. I only let Nicole touch my eyebrows. Not me watching TV and doing the pull. Sorry, y'all. But whatever's going on with Beauty and Black got me. Not me getting excited. Some of the hairs on my chin be so stubborn. So when I see that I grab them hoes, I'm like, yes. Yes. And again, I'm going to reuse these muslin strips. All I have to do is soak them in water. The sugar wax dissolves because it's a sugar base, and then throw them in the washing machine. Now this is going side to side. So I go up and down and then both sides to side. Again, I have to lay wax down in both or four directions when it comes to my chin to make sure I get everything, because it's just the Wild Wild West. The crazy thing about the chin is that the hair also grows in finer, so you don't really see it to the naked eye, but like I be seeing it on when I look. And another little hidden benefit to waxing, or at least sugar waxing, that I've noticed, it also winds up giving you a base layer of exfoliation. So the skin, like when I did my legs, I was like, now that took my tan off a little bit, but the top layer of your skin cells are like exfoliated off. But it winds up being really good because your skin is in a better place to be able to accept more serums and moisturizers and stuff like that. So yeah. Again, if you haven't tried waxing, try it. If you have tried it and didn't like it, try it again. You're a little older now. You probably have a better pain tolerance. Look at the world that we in. We all have a little higher of a pain tolerance. And I go to fill up my damn gas tank. This is such a depressing task, y'all. I had a quarter tank. So I still had gas in my car. This was not a fill up from me. With a quarter tank, I still had to put $81.94 into my damn car in our Lord's 2026 in Los Angeles, California. Specifically, actually Long Beach, because if I was in Los Angeles, it would have been more. This was actually in Long Beach. Anyway, I left out the house so that I can go. I went to Sam's Club. That's why I also wound up getting gas. I grabbed the vanilla wafer so I can make the banana pudding because I got these bananas that are going bad. And I grabbed a couple other things. So I needed more honey. I buy my honey in bulk from Sam's Club as well. And I use that as a sweetener for so many things. So I really need that. I can't remember what else I bought, but that's what I was doing. I don't remember what I was doing in this moment. I was checking something. But I was in the Sam's Club parking lot, and again, I just literally was just checking things off the list. By the time we get to the end of this video, I believe I went from having 5 or 6 things completed on my list to having 11 or 12. So I took a big chunk of things off my list, specifically home maintenance, keeping my life functioning type of things. And I'm glad. I'm so glad. Now to drive home. One of the things that came up on the drive over, but then also the drive back, is Cole. And I ride past one of his favorite parks, a really big park that I love to go to with him. And we actually spent his last birthday there. And I just looked over and I'm just like, I wish he was still here. I can't believe he's gone. Gone. There's so many spots that I like took him to and created really great memories with him at, and it's days like this when I'm doing all of this like stuff around the house that I truly start to miss him, because I got so used to for 15 years. Well, he's only been in LA for like the last 4 or 5 years, but in the last 4 or 5 years, like he would just be looking up at me while I'm going around and like mopping or folding clothes. He's like following me around, watching what I'm doing, like seemingly so intrigued by what the hell I'm doing, whether it's loading the dishwasher, folding clothes, washing the floor, whatever. And I don't have that. I don't have him. I still haven't moved his bowl, his water bowl, his food bowl. I don't think I'm going to. But anyway, I am having veggie hot dogs for dinner and don't mind my hole in my damn leggings. um Back to watching TV, and I think this is me watching Man on Fire. But of course I have Netflix with ads, so there's that. Anyway, hope that you enjoyed this video, this little peek inside in this voiceover. See you in the next one.